Hello, welcome. In this video, we're going to talk about a spoiler for this BL Love Alert series. So with that said, let's begin. Obviously, the little guy was feeling lonely, so I brought him to the store. What's the cat's name? Cyan. Freeze went to Cyan's travel bag, took out a magic cat wand, and waved it, making a tinkling sound. Cyan's eyes sparkled, and he jumped up to play with Freeze as if they were old friends. He can even give a paw. He's very clever. The owner must love him a lot, right? Yes, very much, he replied, looking at Cyan. He had planned to take him out for a while. However, when he arrived, he realized that a store employee had called in sick, so he had to become a temporary worker. Jimmy would probably come soon, following T.E.'s instructions. He would just wait for the real owner to take the cat. Freeze played with the cat when he saw that the drinks he ordered were ready. He went to the counter. Freeze placed the wands on the counter and Cyan leapt to follow the toy. With no one else to play with, the fat cat played with Freeze. T.E. smiled, reaching out to stroke the cat's head, who kept rubbing against Freeze. At that precise moment, the doorbell rang. The cat turned its head. "Cyan, come here." The fat cat jumped to the floor and automatically ran to whoever was calling it. The tall man, who had just arrived, looked at T.E. with disgust, and then at Freeze with even more disgust. Jimmy stopped glaring at Freeze with a defiant look. He bent down to pick up the cat, who was now clinging to his leg, wanting a hug. Jimmy didn't know what to say. He could only stare at T.E., extremely irritated. He ran to find him as soon as he knew he was in his shop. Upon arriving, he had to endure the painful sight of T.E. serving someone else, talking to that person. That smile was one he hadn't seen in a long time. "This is Jimmy's cat," he said forcefully through gritted teeth. As she approached, she felt a sharp pain in her heart. She clenched her fists, trying to control her emotions. She was a jealous and possessive person. He wanted to say, "That's Jimmy's cat. Stop flirting with T.E." He wanted to shout at him. He knew he had no right to say that. The pain bothered him. "I just saw Cyan looking lonely, so I brought him here. Sorry, I won't take him out again without permission." Jimmy doesn't say anything to PHTE. Jimmy's cat is T.E.'s cat. It's more about letting others know the cat belongs to Jimmy. His aggression lessened a little. Jimmy put Cyan down from his arms, and as always, the cat didn't go far, just hovered between his legs. Jimmy stared at T.E., the atmosphere between them making Freeze guess what was happening. "I'll probably stay in the shop a little longer. Jimmy can take Cyan. I'm sorry again. At first, I thought I'd only take him out for a while. Can you go back to Jimmy, please? I have work to do." "In that case, I'll stay and keep T.E. company." His aggressive attitude had completely disappeared. Freeze observed the coldness that T.E. displayed. He looked at the handsome young man and the pleading gaze directed only at him. He seemed to understand why the cafe owner was so depressed, and he also knew why T.E. hadn't shown any interest or opened up to him before. As soon as the person T.E. called Jimmy appeared, Freeze knew immediately that he would never win T.E.'s heart. But T.E.'s heart belonged to someone else, and it always had. His slender hand reached out to take the drink. Freeze nodded slightly to T.E. in farewell. "It's time to open the clinic. I'm leaving." "Yes, thank you very much, PH Freeze." Jimmy glanced at his love rival. He saw the other person give a faint smile before leaving. Finally, he was gone. Now he could be alone with T.E. "Where did you go? Why didn't you tell me? I woke up and you weren't there. I was very surprised. You're not behaving very well. You're a customer. Behave yourself." "Are you scolding me?" "T.E. I was flirting with you. I don't like it. He's just a client. There's nothing more important than that. I'm possessive. Don't be silly. We're nothing." "Don't you think the same way?" asked T.E. "Like when you were with Ram." Jimmy rolled his eyes, blinking rapidly to hold back tears. When T.E. asked him if it was like the situation between him and Ram, he realized that T.E. always cried when the subject of Ram came up because he couldn't do anything, couldn't express his jealousy, couldn't do absolutely anything. Jimmy felt his hands go weak when he looked into T.E.'s eyes again, tears welling up even more. T.E. told me Jimmy had something to discuss with me. I have something to talk to you about too. If you're going to scare me away, I won't talk. I won't talk anymore, okay? I don't want you to scare me away even a little. Jimmy walked to T.E. He knelt in front of the smaller person. Please don't scare me away yet. The hand that had been in his lap reached out to hug T.E. and buried his face in his thin abdomen without crying audibly. T.E. closed his eyes, trying his hardest not to cry with Jimmy. The sarcasm and retorts only caused more pain. Jimmy approached and knelt before him, weeping. What could he do when he was the one who had completely lost, the one who had always lost? In a relationship in between two people, there is always someone at a disadvantage. You were sure it was him. He was soft again, and he didn't know if that tenderness would lead him back to the pain. All he knew was that he loved Jimmy. He loved him. Even though there wasn't the slightest reason to love him, he loved him anyway. The hand that rested beside him slowly rose. T.E. wanted to use his hand to stroke Jimmy's hair to comfort him, but he had to exert himself greatly to stop himself. He lowered his hand without being too gentle, without touching him to let him know that he still loved him, even though his heart had completely softened. What do you want, Jimmy? You keep bothering me. I'm sorry, T.E. I asked you what you want. Can you give me a chance? Just one more time, please. Don't throw me away yet. Don't forget me. Don't go loving someone else. I'm so possessive of you that I'm going crazy when I see you smile at that person. Please, just give me one more chance. T.E. looked at the decorative lights on the ceiling, trying to keep his voice from trembling, what he intended to say to Jimmy, what he had rehearsed thoroughly. Let this be the last time. This is your last chance, Jimmy. Spoiler alert. Leave your comments below. What do you think about this spoiler? If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Bye!